Hello people, welcome. Laobi here. I just want to hear your voice tonight, and as we talk about naira, boom, Nigeria money is in trouble. Nigeria is in crisis. Nigeria is in crisis. The president of Nigeria have lost total control of Nigeria. Nigeria senators cannot make their law again. The country is in total shutdown. Forget what they are telling you today. The country is totally what? Run down. How can you save Nigeria? Welcome. Laobi here, just about to talk to you guys. So whatever you are hearing today, guys, I just want you guys to share this video and we can all make difference in life. Thank you guys for hearing my Laobi. Take care, enjoy it, and this is Laobi. Nigerian story have never finished. Every time we are in Nigeria. Guys, the new introduction of naira is the cost of the day, is the problem of the day, is the pandemic of the day. Even when election is at hand, we're still fighting to get naira. Do you know that Nigeria is the only country now that you can trade their currency for currency? So
50 for 60,000.
That's what they're selling it. Some are even selling more than that.
But where did they get it from?
That's why we can't get from the banks.
How many, sir?
Do you understand? That's why we can't get it from the banks.
The naira now is a commodity. It's a commodity or whatever you call it. That you have to buy 10,000 with 200. So you pay more than, in fact, no, now, sorry. Nigeria now have become a place that you have to get 10,000 with 1,000. So each withdrawal, you have to pay 10% of Nigerian money. And the problem is that the Nigerian bank cannot actually give good account on what is happening with the money. Currently, Nigerian banks are about to go on strike because there's no money. A lot of places are getting broken by people, villagers, farmers. Those people that depend on daily trade with money, they're actually going mad. Now you cannot differentiate between criminals, hooligans, and rioters in Nigeria again because everything in Nigeria is chaos. The current president, Muhammad Buhari, has actually fired the nation. He has fired the nation totally. The problem is that a lot of people give this man hope. When he got elected, they thought maybe he is the change they are seeing. Buhari promised a lot, but do nothing. In terms of elimination of the Boko Haram is still rampant. In terms of the increased Islamization of Nigeria, that is what Buhari is campaigning for, Islam of Nigeria. But no economic policy, no economic strategy, everything implemented in Nigeria, no strategy. Now let's talk about the naira. I really don't want to go into the detail of that naira and the strategy behind introduction of naira, whether to hold the politicians so that they don't spread money, or to stop some of our guys who goes to party and spread money, abuse money. I'm not in support of that. But the implementation himself is what I have problem. Somebody told me that sometimes black people will have too many ideas, but to implement one is a big problem. How can a whole CBN governor, you have, put whatever you put that you want to introduce new naira without strategy? You are trying to introduce money. There's no induction whereby you allow people, you trade people, let them know what is going on and how they will manage the new currency. Immediately you introduce the currency, you give them maybe 3 months. That's what you did. No introduction, nothing, you stop the money. And in fact, the ones you got printed is not up to the money people already have in the country. So what happened here? They become chaos. Nobody knows what is going on in Nigeria. Today, banks will tell you they don't have the new currency. The old currency said people are not collecting it. So for you to buy 10,000 naira, you have to pay 1,000. In fact, some people told me they pay 2,000 to get 10,000, which is 20% to get. So if you are collecting 100,000, you have to pay 10,000 naira. Even in some bank, they don't have it. You see now the youth are going around boggling NTN, breaking banks. Bank workers are escaping through fence. Where Nigeria have gone so far. When you talk about Nigeria, as I want to put it today, a lot of Nigerians are overseas. A lot of Nigerians have traveled. Even the so-called Nigerian leaders have traveled. Most of them travel every week. But they could not learn one thing from the Western world or the Asian world they went to. All they can learn there is probably how to loan their money to go and invest in overseas, how to steal from their people, how to con their people so that the people will not understand that they are stealing money from them, how to carry millions of dollars and give their people just 100 or maybe 200 in order to live, so that the people will think they are doing the good job. That's what they learn in overseas. That's what they come back with. They never learn in overseas that there's something they call welfare, how you take care of people. They never learn in overseas there's social work, where people's needs are met. They never learn what we call holistic caring, where you take care of people, take into account their disability, everything. They don't learn that. They learn only how to make things difficult for a Nigerian. People are crying today. The other ones are crying. Some of those ones that sell petty business on the streets, they can't have those exports. I don't know how much you say the airports in Nigeria, but some of those women cannot have those things. They don't take them into consideration. What happened? They stop the money. Today, many Nigerians are crying. I'm going to have our money. Even some are shouting, going to the bank naked, fighting, doing all sorts of things. Say my money that I actually work hard for, I can't have my money. What is going on? This government. Buhari, the president of Nigeria, cannot give good account of what is going on in the country. I told people for a long time that Buhari himself had lost control of the country. Nigeria problem is the structure. If the structure can be okay, then maybe the country will function. But Nigerians have not sit down and think if we have to live as one in this country. I'm telling you, in everywhere, it doesn't matter where you are, even in Europe or here in Australia. If you go to a party today, it's easy for you to dictate, this party belongs to Igbos, this party belongs to Yoruba, this party belongs to Edos. We are so disintegrated. Forgot what we put on. We are so disintegrated. How can this be? But when the foundation is not right, then people will not be right. People always think this, I'm Igbo, I'm Yoruba, I'm Hausa. No matter how we try to paint it, this is what comes to our mentality. Some of us, we thought maybe we are educated, we are grown above that. But when we are doing something, indirectly we don't know, our nature will bring us to that area, because that's the system we are brought up with. Only people that are getting away with this, even the ones they're born in overseas, their parents also channel them with that attitude that you are Yoruba, you are Igbo, you are Hausa, you are Edo. They begin to bring that intimidation. Today, the cost of naira is a big problem. Some people told me that some of the new naira are being exported to the north. So that's where the Nigerians are. The ones in the west, the ones in the east are not Nigerians. You see how we disintegrate people. Some said the big naira, the current new naira, are being divided by the politicians. That they gave the politicians so that during the election they can have money to throw to people. They can have money to give to people so that people can vote for them. So now I told myself that if this is the case, why do you still have government whereby the money will only be for the big man, and the poor masses who have suffered to earn money, and some of them save in the bank, maybe for their children, maybe when they have a health issue, maybe when they run out of cash, they can go there and get their money, they can't touch the money. How can such a government operate? How can Nigerian leaders be so heartless when you guys are doing decisions? You don't take into account those vulnerable people that tread on the street, those people that do turn up every day. So mom today cannot feed their child, not because they don't have the money, but because the bank refused to give them money. When you go to many banks today, you will see the long queue, where people queue. Some queue more than 1 hour, some queue more than 10 hours, but they can't even get their money. The bank staff are confused as the government. They will tell you they don't know because they don't know truly. Some of the top bank officials, they load the money from the back door, they give it to POS, which means you want to know what is POS. Those people that change money on the street with their small airports. They use that thing to change money and they get it bigger. Money becomes, in fact, black market is the end of the day, because Nigerians, we prayed in every opportunity we have. We do what we call profiteering. A criminal act whereby if there's a problem in Nigeria, we see it as an opportunity to get rich. We never see it as a way to have empathy to those people that are being affected, or rally around and see how we can help ourselves. Do you know one thing, see Western world flourish? Nigeria is a very prayerful country. Muslims are very prayerful, Christians are very prayerful, but they never follow what they pray for. While in the Western world, they are not prayerful, but they follow what God wants. They have what we call empathy. See, empathy is different from compassionate. Sometimes your compassionate will kill you, but empathy makes you to be wise. Whereby you look at the situation and say, we are in the same predicament. Let's find a way to build ourselves and come out of this situation. But in Nigeria, we say we are in the same predicament. Let's find a way to bring some people down and to rise up. Why in the Western world they say we are in this thing together? Let's find a way for me and you to rise up. But in Africa we say for you to go down and for me to rise up, so that tomorrow when you see me, you will call me big man, uncle, and you will see me flexing while your brother is suffering. A lot of us today, we admire Western world culture, we admire what happens in Western world. But how are we managing our situation? CBN government, you went and introduced money without taking into account how the people will feel, how the vulnerable people. You think only those ones that have money. Today, a lot of people cried. I actually heard that a man was crying in the bank because of his own money he works hard for. He's a bricklayer. Bricklayer means that, you know, it's different from Africa. Maybe those people that lay foundation for roof, house, or something like that. They spend hours. This man came to see if he can get his 20,000 naira, which is around maybe roughly $40. From morning to night, the man could not. The man cried. The next thing, the man snubbed there and died. And the federal government did not come out and speak. Nobody speaks. They say, oh yeah, he died. That's how it ends. How can we be so heartless? How do you think that God in heaven will continue to listen to us when we behave this way? When our empathy is far from us, when we don't think about other people. Now election is coming. Your election, you never thought about those people that will go on transportation to go to the next booth. There's no petrol. There's no money to buy the petrol. Even when you have the money, you cannot use it. And those people that have the money, you will even be scared to remove your money, because the ones close to you, they can't have it. Maybe their children are sick. They may grab the money from you and run away in order to buy things from the chemist. There's some people that have their children in hospital. They want those money to go and take care of the children. You know, we're talking about transfer. We're talking about online transfer. Nigerian internet is not that fast. You can transfer some. It will take about 2 hours. Man, it only takes about 3 minutes or 1 minute for somebody to go on. Could you imagine Nigerian hospital that you go to there, they ask you, do you want to see money first before we treat you? Then you transfer the money, they say you have to wait until we have a lot. Maybe the alert may take 2-3 hours, maybe even a day. You will leave the person die. You know, the introduction of naira is a pandemic, it's a disaster. Because there's no plan behind it. I know maybe they introduced that in order to calm down some of the fraudulent, some of the governors that have already stocked nairas in their home. Because that will happen in Africa. It happened in Nigeria. Some homes will go, they stock old nairas. Maybe when they died, somebody in that house maybe start digging hole and find out that the dad, the great dad, stocked some bunk of nairas here.
Life for Wadata. EFCC discover money. See money. See where they hide out. Money don't spoil. Money don't spoil. When I see. Police barrack, Wadata, politician, I don't go kill us.
The dad stock those money that are meant to build good hospital, stock those money that are meant to build good roads, stock those money that are meant to pay good teachers. He stock it. He doesn't want people to progress. He doesn't want people to eat. He wants only him to take care of everything. The stock of naira today, the money that I just introduced, is a disaster. It's a disaster to people. Nigerian banks are no more. The information I'm hearing, a lot of banks are closing in the rural areas. So you have to travel to the city to meet banks. And some of the banks in the city are closing up. Children, burglars are using the advantage to go and burgle banks. People, protesters are using the advantage to go and smash banks. Because when people, I always go back to Christian. Bible say that, when you touch a heart of man, that's when you touch the money. If a man can give you money, know that you have actually touched the heart. You can say anything to people, they will laugh at you. But once you talk about money, you see them start making somehow. So money, there's a lot of attachment between woman and money. Once you know that people have, they work hard for it. Nigeria is not a place that government pays you welfare or pays you social support and things like that. They don't do that. Every money they have in bank, they work for it. A house in Nigeria is not, you don't hardly buy a house in Nigeria with loan. You pay cash, not like in this country. You buy some house, millions of dollars in loan, you pay 50 years, 30 years, 40 years. No, in Nigeria it's cash. Cash, everything cash in Nigeria. That could you imagine those people today, they cannot buy those things they want to. You have money in the bank like my friend was telling me, but I can't touch it. I am dying of hunger. Nigeria today is a pandemic. The governors are crying. So then I see, even the governors, because some of them that are not belonging to the top ranking people, they are actually feeling the stress because the money now is being piled somewhere. Why the masses are suffering? How can we continue to live in a country like this? Nigeria is in a crisis. Nigeria is in a crisis. The government of Nigeria has lost control. Nigeria is now a lawless country, whereby there's no money. Even the money that you think you have in Nigeria is traded. So if you have 20 naira, you can trade it with 24 naira now. Money in Nigeria, money is traded within Nigeria. I'm not talking about stock exchange. I'm talking within Nigeria. Criminals have hijacked the economy. If international community should come over, a lot of complication here. Nigeria is facing also the disintegration. The election, I don't know how you guys will go the election, but the election I'm saying, it will not be 100% election. Because what is happening in Nigeria now, you need only the grace of God. Those people that will vote for you, you don't know if they have money to buy tomorrow food. So what they have to do now is to control those people mentally, so they'll be hungry. So when the day of the election, anybody that gave you 1,000 or 200 naira, you will go and vote because that's the money for you to buy a food. Will you blame the person? You won't blame, because human being can do anything in order to get living. I remember when we had the first pandemic in Australia, when everybody was running skater. I was shocked. Everybody was panicking. People were actually going to shopping malls. People were actually going to shopping malls, dragging for toilet tissue, fighting. Some people go into the booths in order to cross to the next area. That tells you when human beings are in need, they can do anything. So I don't blame people that take this money. But how can we survive this thing? The nation is in crisis. Nigeria is in crisis.